Good afternoon. I'm Cher Johnston. Welcome to my happy place. We're going to finish, hopefully, we're going to finish this pocket treasure that I made. I'm just in love with it. Before I do that, though, oh my gosh. Before I do that, well, I'm going to make a bird today, but before I make the bird, I want to make some twine for him to float on. But before I do that, I want to show you, I'm making some pocket altars for a couple of people that I know. Whoops. That's a little grandbaby. So here's the outside. And it's not stitched or anything. I'm going to put stitches in it. Like, some cantha stitching and decorative stitching and stuff. So there's that one. And it's going to have, this is going to be a pocket in the middle. And like I told you in the last one, it's going to say love and God. And I think I might do some watercolors to put in pockets. I haven't done watercolors for a while. And I just feel like doing some watercolors. Here's the other one. This is for, these are my grandkids' other grandma and her sister. So these are my grandkids, and that's their sister, their half-sister, but she's the other grandma's granddaughter. So here's the other side of this one. And the next thing I'm going to do is do some running stitch and some decorative stitches and that kind of thing. And I may do a video. You'll have to let me know if you want to see a video. And I might share it with you. I might not. All right. I want to do a thing like some twine. I thought about this for a long time. It needs to have twine that attaches here, wraps around the book, and then the little bird is going to wrap underneath there. So I decided I want purple and teal because those are my favorite colors together. Well, they're not really my favorite colors. They're my right now favorite colors. So I'm going to take about, excuse me, I don't know, that's about 5 feet. And that was my scissors that dropped on the floor. Then I'll make sure this doesn't unravel. I just have to say, you guys, thank you all so much for the lovely comments. On my last video where I did this, everyone agreed they wanted to see the part 3. Part 1 did really, really well. Part 2 did okay. Not as well as part 1, but part 1 was really pretty cool. But part 2 did okay too. And I don't know how well part 3 is going to do. We'll see. Doesn't matter. I just like just like making videos, and I like working on this, and I like comments from you lovely people. I also got a very lovely comment from a lovely lady on the last video that I did. One of the things that I said is that I wasn't in a very good mood. I my bones ached, and she said she didn't mind me telling you guys that. I thought that's really sweet. Very sweet. I think that maybe I have to remember that most of my audience are all women, and we're all, that age where you just think birthdays are better than the alternative. You know what I mean? Now, I didn't think about this before I started. I think or I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. All right, I need to know. Oh yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do with these threads is, I have to do this off camera, because this one I'm going to twist this way, and then this one I'm going to twist the other way, I think. But I'm just going to start twisting. Okay, I'm going to stand up and show you what I'm doing. I'm not even twisting the other side, I'm just twisting one side. And I'll hold it still for a minute. And if you kind of let loose a little bit, see what happens. Where is it? See how it's starting to twist? That's what I want. So I'm going to keep twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting. Okay. So I took the part that was in my mouth and I put it around my finger. And now I'm twisting both of them together. Haha. Okay. All right. Now, they're very similar sort of colors. Now I have to very carefully take this end and tie a big knot. And I think I want to get some glue and glue that. Just because this is so slippery. Probably not the best thread to use. I'll be back. Okay, I have to learn how to not talk when I'm pretty sure I'm not on camera and I'm gonna have to cut it out. This is my Fabri-Tac glue. That is, it gets really gloppy at the top. And this piece of fabric is something that I picked up off the floor to throw away. And now I've got a thread stuck in. Well, like that, for instance, you don't need to see all that. You don't really need to see all that. All right. And it only needs a teeny tiny little splotch. Now I have to cap it back up before it splooges all over. It's I have like this much left in the bottom, and I discovered that you can add acetone to your fabric tack and make it get thin again. Wish I could do that with my body. Just add a little acetone. Okay, I'm going to make a little birdie. This is going to be our bird. This is, it's 3 inches by 3 inches. I have 2 pieces of fabric here, only because this is very, very thin. This is vintage, my mom's, one of my mom's square dance dresses. That's what this is. So it's going to be, I embroidered on some open chain stitch there. I mean, detached chain stitch that's not closed. This stitching line is just to hold those 2 pieces of fabric together, but I think I'm going to use it as a bit of a guideline. And then this is going to be our little beak. So I think I made it too big, but that's fine because I can always cut it off later. So I'm going to stick this inside. Whoops. If I want it like this, I'm going to fold it right sides together. If you sew, you know. And I want this in here like this. See? Because when we flip it around, that's going to come out like that. Might not make sense right now, but it will. I'm going to sew up half of it, and then we're going to, I want to put this in far enough. I can always cut off what I don't need if I have too much there. So put that pin in there and that pin in there. I did this once already and it got totally screwed up, and so I had to take it out and redo it. So I may have done some jibber jabber that you won't hear. Does it matter? No, I don't. Sometimes I just don't say much of anything that's of any value. I know. I talked to you about my gray pinstripe pants. Not important. Totally not important. I woke up this morning. I guess it's afternoon now. It's almost 1:30. Woke up at 3:30 in the morning. Laid there awake, thinking, Why am I hungry? I trying to not, they say you're not supposed to eat 3 hours before bed or something like that. Well, it's hard for me. I grew up thinking we were told, right, that it's best to eat um, small meals throughout the day, right? Isn't that what they told us? 6 meals a day. I used to also eat right before I went to bed. And I had a blood glucose monitor that would wake me up in the middle of the night saying that my blood sugar was below 60. And then I would get up and drink some water and like try to find something to eat. And then look again, and it was, 85 or something, sort of low, but not terribly low. And yeah, that went on and on. And I finally said, I'm just going to eat before I go to bed. No, I think what I did is I said, I don't need this monitor. It wakes me up and at inappropriate times. Because it was waking me up saying that my blood sugar was too low and then I needed to get up and eat something. Well, why am I taking so much insulin then that my blood sugar can get that low? Like, come on. Okay, you guys don't need to hear about my insulin problems, except that I think that's why I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Anyway, oh, I was going to say I ate 3 times before noon. Got up at like 4:30 and I had eggs. Then I had it was like 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Then 9 o'clock, I had leftover meatloaf. And then probably around 11 or 12, I had some tuna. Oh, heck. Okay. I can cut that. I can also go in. See, it should have gone more like that. Let's just fix that. Just go back. Oh, I know why I said oh my God, um, I'm a little giddy because I need more sleep. I was talking about sewing because I was saying you could sew this. If you got a sewing machine and you were so inclined, you could sew it. And I said, I used to sew a lot. I sewed a lot of my own clothes. And then I went into this big long story about how I went shopping for some gray pinstripe slacks. I worked in corporate America. I used to be a business manager, worked for celebrities and rich people. And I wanted some gray pinstripe slacks. Wait a minute. That's not going to make any difference at all. Oh, God. Okay, I need to go back to bed. This needs to go. This needs to go up here further, like this. Oh. So glad we're all friends here. I feel like someone went to my Ko-fi page and bought me a cup of coffee, and she said she would love it if we could just sit and have a cup of coffee. So she bought me a coffee because she said she feels like sometimes we're just sitting having coffee. And I do sometimes feel like I'm just sitting here chatting, drinking my tea, talking to my friends. All right, let's see if that worked. Now the other thing is, I have to put in my string thing. Burr, burr, burr. What do we think? Yep, I like it. I like hymns. Okay. On the other one that I did, I did a tail. And I realized I didn't do this kind of stitching to try to make wings on the other one. Turn him back inside out and end off this. Yeah, let's end this off. And get some let's get some razzle and some dazzle. Let's give them some razzle dazzle. Now I did this whole thing. This video is going to be really long. I might have to cut out some parts. Like this part, I'll probably have to cut this all out because it was really long. I took 2 lengths of razzle and dazzle. They were about 5 feet long. I put knots in the end, took one end, put my finger in it, and I started twisting it. And I just held the other end. Then when it got really twisted, I folded it in half. If you twist it long enough, it will naturally twist up like this. So this is 2 pieces about 5 feet long, twisted together and then folded in half, and it's about 18 inches. So it shrinks quite a bit when you do that. So next I'm going to take some razzle and some dazzle, and I'm going to make some loops. Like, see this little guy? I'm just going to make a few little loops for a tail. Okay, I have about 18 inches of both of those colors. And I just took my thread and wrapped it round and round and round. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to make a big old mess is what I'm doing. Oh, all right. Now I have to turn this back around inside out. Oh, I hate to do that because it's so hard to get that. Oh well. And then again, the tail has to face the inside, right? So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to pull it out a little bit more. Put it in there. No. Yeah. I probably should have done, see this, that circle? I should have drawn a circle on there, but I didn't. So I'm a fool. And I'm going right through that knot. Not the knot. Yes, the knot. I really crack myself up sometimes. Okay. Now, I have to remember that I have to leave room. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's room there. I have to have room to turn it. So, and I'm doing a back stitch. It looks like just teeny tiny stitches here. Look at that. There's some nice stitching in there. Is it weird that I'm hungry again? It's so weird to me. I don't know if I'm not getting enough to eat or what. I think stress can make you, I wanted to ask you guys how are you all doing there are, there's supposed to be storms all over the country. Like, what? Yeah, I meant to call, I have family in Michigan, and I meant to call my sister and ask her if they're okay. Sometimes I feel bad because, you know, we don't get weather. Of course, we do get earthquakes. My mother used to call me anytime there was an earthquake in San Francisco once, and she called and said, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, Mom, that's in San Francisco, and I'm nowhere near there." Okay, burp, burp, burp. I have to find some stuffing. We're gonna stuff its little belly. I almost forgot to do the thing with the thing. Have to do the thing with the thing. Fortunately, I have this teeny tiny little um a little tiny crochet hook. You know, it might be easier though, is to do this. Hold on. Wait, I want this, and oh, this is probably a really stupid idea. Yeah, it is a stupid idea. Let's pull this through. Now I have a hole there, and I can pull that through and hook this here. Ta-da! Oh my gosh. How cute is he? Okay, you know what? I don't need all that. I can just cut that off. I don't have to try to hide it. Okay, I'm going to find some stuffing. Look at him. Isn't he cute? I do need to stuff him a little bit. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to stitch him up. I'll be back. All right, I stuffed him up. And we're going to do a ladder stitch. So I want to put the knot inside. Then I'm going to go from that side over to this side and do a little stitch there. Then I'm going to go to that side and do a tiny stitch. Then I'm going to go here and do a tiny, well, little stitch. And I can just, ta-da, it's like magic. Now, I'm going to do like 2 little stitches here. I don't want to make a knot because it would be on the outside and it would show. Then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to bury that thread in the middle. Now, oh, now I'm going to go take a nap. Oh, but seriously, I don't think I should work on this anymore. What I want to do is I want to draw on some eyes, and then I have to stitch this down onto, I'm going to stitch it on here. And I think I'm going to stitch this pocket on there. Yeah, I don't want to hide that. I like that. But I need a nap. So I love my little bird though. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, well, it's the next day and I slept so well last night. I slept until 10:30. I'm usually up by about 6 or 7, so I slept a long time and I slept well. So I'm doing much better. And I looked and I have an hour. I filmed for at least over an hour probably. And I can't post an hour-long video. So I'm not going to be able to finish today, or in this video anyway. And I want to get this posted. And I have more to do. So I'm going to do another video. We'll finish this. And I think I want to turn on the camera and sew. And in the next video, I'll probably work on these ones as well too. So that's all I have for today. I also just wanted to say there's a huge storm in like 32 states. It's over half of the US. And so and I guess it's pretty devastating. We're not affected here in Southern California, but yeah, I hope you're all well. And safe. So thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me and Mitzi, and I'll see you next time.